Listen, I obviously did not read all the books that I had picked for my March Dramaqueenathon TBR, but what else is new on this channel? Hey everyone, my name is Meera. Welcome back to my channel. How have you been? I have been reading so many books the last couple of months and I've been wanting to talk about them. So I thought it's high time that I resume filming wrap-up videos for this channel. In this video, I am going to be talking about the 4 titles that I did read in March, and you're going to want to stick around till the end of this video because all of these 4 titles are just so interesting. The first book I finished reading in March is called What's Left of Me by Kat Zhang. This is a dystopian fiction and it's the first book in the Hybrid Chronicles. So in this world, some people are born as hybrids, meaning that there are two souls living in one body. Now hybrids are not really allowed to exist past their adolescent years. So around the time that they turn 11, 12, there's this process called settling by which the weaker of the two souls is supposed to fade away. But it so happens that our main characters, Addie and Eva, have been pressurized to settle ever since they were young, and neither of them are showing any signs of going away just yet. So they both get sent to the psychiatric hospital to be cured, and over there they come to realize just how misled the public is and how many secrets the government is keeping from them. What I loved about this book is that most dystopian fictions I read are about teenage characters or older characters, and this one is written about children. So to see young ones who are supposed to be enjoying their childhood in a carefree manner be thrust into such extreme situations is a very heartening experience. There's a lot of adventure and action in it. I also really enjoy books that are written with some extraordinary out of the box theme. And so the fact that there are two souls living in one body, that is a very interesting perspective to read about. The underlying sort of blueprint of this book is similar to a lot of dystopian fictions. What I mean by that is that the government is shown to be the bad guy. The public doesn't really know what's in store for them. There are a lot of secrets and lies in society. People are, fooled. And so it falls on a few characters in the book to sort of save the day. There's enough that's new about this book to warrant giving it a try. I rated What's Left of Me 3 stars out of 5. The second book I finished reading is called A Drowned Maiden's Hair by Laura Amy Schlitz. It's a historical fiction and it's the story of a young girl called Maud who is an orphan at the Barbary Asylum for Female Orphans. She doesn't really get along with anyone there, and one day they get to know that a wealthy family is coming to adopt a girl. Maud is a little disheartened because she knows that none of the wardens at the asylum are going to recommend her. But much to her surprise, one of the Hawthorne sisters grows rather fond of her and decides to adopt Maud. Now she is ecstatic because she feels like she's finally getting a home, a family, people to care for her. Little does Maud know that there's a lot more to the Hawthorne family than meets the eye. And when she finds out what the Hawthorne sisters are hiding, she comes to realize what price she has to pay for a little bit of affection. I love historical fictions, especially ones that have a little tinge of the classic writing in them. This one is written a little bit like a classic without the complexity of that language, so it's easy to understand and lose yourself in the story. I like the pacing of this book, and the mystery surrounding the Hawthorne family's identity and what they're hiding is something that even I could not have guessed. In some ways, it reflects how innocent children are and how basic their wants and needs are. They're just looking for someone to love them and someone to, be with them. One of the things that I really liked about this book is Muffet and Maud's bond. That shows you just how pure-hearted children are. Like towards the end of it, you begin to feel really bad by the direction the story is taking. I was wishing that everything would be fine for Maud with all my heart. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end. You're going to have to read it for yourself and find out, and it's totally worth it. It's surprising that I hadn't heard anything about this book or the author ever before, and I'm so glad that I picked up this title because it's something that even thinking about now warms my heart. So I rated A Drowned Maiden's Hair 4.25 out of 5 stars. Definitely pick it up if the plot sounds interesting to you. Even if it doesn't, just pick it up. I'm pretty sure the story is much better than what I'm trying to make it out to be. The third one is You're Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This is a psychological thriller in which the protagonist, Shay Miller's life, turns topsy-turvy when she witnesses a suicide at the subway station. Her life is not really going as per her wishes, and so she inadvertently gets drawn into the deceased woman's friend circle. The woman who passed away, her name is Amanda. Amanda's friends represent everything that Shay yearns for. But beneath all this charm and the glitz and the glamour, there is such a hideous truth that's lurking, which Shay may or may not find out throughout the course of this book. Something that's always impressed me about Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen's books is that they infuse their stories with psychological concepts, and I really enjoy reading about that. In this, Shay Miller is a data scientist, so you'd assume that she'd catch on to what's happening really quickly, but I didn't quite mind it, this aspect of the plot, because you can clearly see that Shay is just so yearning for company and she doesn't like her life. So when she meets Amanda's friends, she gets sucked into their life, into befriending them. It's sort of like the moth to a flame. I rated You're Not Alone 4.25 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed reading it. I was hooked to the story. These characters have so many layers that are peeled away with each chapter. There's also a dash of spookiness to the story. It's not as haunting or creepy as An Anonymous Girl, but it definitely makes you question what's happening. It makes you question the sanity of all the characters. If you're looking for a good thriller that you could finish in one sitting, then definitely consider this one. The last book I read in March is called Be Not Far From Me by Mindy McGinnis. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'd know just how much I love this author's writing. So when I found out that she had written a survival story, I dived headfirst into the book. This is the story of Ashley Hawkins. She finds herself completely at home in the wilderness. She's what you would call like a nature person. However, this novel chronicles a camping trip that goes wrong. Ashley gets separated from her friends, and as she's running through the woods, she falls and injures herself. When she wakes up, it's the next morning. She's forced to consider the possibility that there's no one coming to save her, and she has to fend for herself without any supplies, any resources whatsoever. This novel is an account of the 15 days that she spends in the forest. So it has 15 chapters, one for each day. As you read about someone who is so comfortable in the wilderness, going through so much trouble, it is really jarring. I like the way the story is being told. I like the plot execution. What I didn't like about this novel is Ashley's characterization. She is shown to be someone who is a little smug about her abilities and her survival skills. She is constantly comparing herself to her other friends and sort of making snide remarks about how she's better than them and they wouldn't stand a chance surviving out in the woods. That's something that I didn't like about her. And through these 15 chapters, we are also shown some flashbacks about things that have happened in the past to her. So what those flashbacks reveal of her personality, that was something I didn't like either. One theme that is explored in this book, which I can't talk about because that's a spoiler. That theme and Ashley's characterization were the only two things that I didn't like in the book. Other than that, I found myself getting engrossed in the way the author was narrating her story. It's really heartrending what she goes through. Like at times, the things she does and the way her thoughts are formed, it's really inspiring and you can't help but feel bad for her at times. I rated this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. Even though, like I said, there are certain things I didn't like about it, I am still very much in awe of Mindy McGinnis's writing. Her writing style is something that shakes you up and it's just so soulful. I still continue to be a fan of the author, and so I will be looking forward to her works in the future. If you're interested in survival stories set in the forest, then definitely consider picking this up. The narrative around harsh realities and how transient life is, that makes this book worth checking out. That concludes my wrap up for March Dramaqueenathon. I really did enjoy reading all of these 4 books. I don't think I was bored while reading any of them. So if you enjoyed watching my video, then let me know. If you've read either of these books, then do share your thoughts with me in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.